Good evening. The time is now 5 p.m. I call this meeting of the Granbury Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting is duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. This board will now adjourn into executive session pursuant to the following sections: 551.071, private consultation with board attorney; 551.072, discussion of purchase, exchange, lease, and value of real property; 551.074, discussion of officers, employees, and personnel matters. The time is now 5:01. Good evening, everyone. We will now reconvene into open session by beginning with an invocation led by Mr. Moore.
Please pray with me. Father God, we are thankful for everyone here this evening. We're so thankful for our hardworking students, teachers, staff, and administrators. Lord, we ask your guidance, your wisdom, and support as we make the best decisions for our district. Lord, we love where we live. Give us open minds and open hearts. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We are now to do the pledges, and they're going to be presented to us by Bacchus Elementary School students.
All right, good evening, President Townsend, Superintendent Dixon, and Board of Trustees. We are so excited to be here to do the pledges this evening. This is our Bacchus Elementary. These are our empathy winners for September that were selected by their teachers. And so I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Carmen Chandler, who is our counselor, so that they can introduce themselves to everyone.
And as Dr. Paget said, we've been working hard on our lead-worthy character traits. In September, we worked on empathy, and these students were chosen by their teachers as students who have shown great empathy and have also been a great example to their classmates as well. So we'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
I am Dylan Hernandez in 4th grade from Ms. Hernandez's class. My name is Noah Ball. I'm in 4th grade and I'm from Ms. Womack's class.
My name is Truett Smith. I'm in 4th grade. My teacher is Miss White.
My name is Austin Span. I'm in 2nd grade. My teacher name is Miss Nava.
My name is Avery and I am in 2nd grade and my teacher's name is Miss Parker.
My name is Peter Leonardo. I'm in 1st grade. My teacher's name is Miss Blair.
My name is Justin Williams. I'm in 3rd grade. My teacher is Miss Dugan.
And we have a couple of students who would like to tell you what empathy means to them. Avery, would you like to go? Avery.
Empathy means being kind and walking in someone else's shoes and feeling what they feel. Empathy means to not judge people until you walk in their shoes and you really get to know them.
Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic from which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the
Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Over here, we're going to take a photo.
Good job, guys.
Just line up right here, face me. Everybody, shake. Come over here. There you go. Production. Shake hands. Shake everybody. Good job. Great.
Yeah.
Nice way to start our evening. Next, we have Ms. Ship is going to be presenting the Blue Bonnet Lemonade Day winner from Mambrino STEAM Academy.
Good evening, school board, Dr. Dixon, and guests tonight. We have 3 students that actually have moved on to middle school. They have flown away from us, but they were the overall winner for Lemonade Day last spring. So if you were not here, it was a National Lemonade Day, and a lot of lemonade. Someone just asked me, was theirs blue? Because theirs was called Blue Bonnet Lemonade. I said, I can't remember. I drank like 25 cups that day. So I cannot remember. But the reason I wanted to bring these girls forward today, and I'm going to read a little bit of it off my phone, but they raised $1,103 in lemonade that day. But with us focusing so much on our capturing kids' hearts and empathy, here's why I chose to bring them tonight before you. These girls donated all of it except for a tiny amount to go to Urban Air Together. That's it. They chose to give it instead to Hood County Animal Control and Mission Granbury. And I think that is just so honorable, and they're thinking of others and not of themselves. So I'm just very proud of them. So I'll introduce them to you, but we have Sophia Bone. You want to wave so they'll know who you are? Mackenzie Mendel and Elizabeth Daugherty. And so I'm just very proud of them and wanted to recognize them for their empathy and their hard work on top of everything else, and that they were selfless with their ambitions, and I'm very proud of them.
Ready? One, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look here. Ready? 1, 2. Okay.
And I was curious, so I had to ask if the lemonade was blue, and yes, one of them was. All right, next up we have Janie Robinson with the 2025 Horatio Alger National Scholar recipient.
Hi, I'm Lily Tyler. I'm the one who won the award. I don't know what else to say. I'm a senior at Granbury High School.
So Lily is one of the most delightful people you can meet. As you can see, she's always smiling. Like, her eyes just light up the room. But she was selected for this great honor. And how much money did you get from this?
$25,000.
Wow. So, you're awesome. So congratulations. Can we go ahead and get a picture?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So that's neat to see so many great things happening, and so many, like our cadets are here. We have so many others to recognize tonight too. So good job.
Mom.
asked her to give us a little understanding of what the Horatio Alger Award is, because I don't know. Yes,
Should I go
ahead.
on the mic? Okay.
Absolutely.
The Horatio Alger, it's more about facing adversity, but finding success and being kind of empowered in a way through taking past events and coming something out of it. So, sorry, I'm a little caught off guard by the explanation, but it's just about not letting stuff weigh you down.
So is it an essay contest?
Yes,
Okay.
essay, and they do a whole thing that Miss Wallace, the librarian, had actually helped me with, and it's where she's been there for me a lot in my high school career whenever things have gone not the way I've expected, and she kind of was my adversity counselor is what she was called on the scholarship application, but it's mostly an essay.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, next we have, I thought it was going to be Lieutenant Colonel Casey and Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Wells, GHS NJROTC Naval Honor School Designation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Wells, the current battalion commander of the MCJRTC Battalion. With me tonight is Second in Command Cadet Major James Barber, our senior enlisted cadet Sergeant Major Grace Larson, our two company commanders Cadet Kaylin Price, and Cadet Captain Fiona Doss. And our two company first sergeants, Cadet Brantley Thrasher and Cadet Viola Allen. I would like to give my thanks to the school board meeting for recognizing the battalion and all of its accomplishments. The battalion has been named the Naval Honor School for the 11th year in a row. To qualify for this award, you'll need community service hours, cadet involvement in student activities, academic awards, public affair involvement, and team accomplishments are taken into consideration. In fact, our teams are known for the dedication to before and after school practice that leads to their many successes. We had our academics team, physical training team, robotics team, and rifle team compete in place at state and national level competitions. Our rifle team has won Nationals JRTC Rifle Championships for the 7th year in a row. Our cadets commit to improvement is a driving force to the successes of our program. Our seniors received over $1 million in scholarships last year. We had 8 seniors who are attending college, 4 who enlisted, and 1 that is now attending an academy. As you can see, our battalion successes is quite impressive. However, their success comes from the people who support our cadets the most. To the parents and to the guardians, I thank you for your unconditional support of your cadet. I would also like to thank the instructors who continue to push us to strive for excellence. It is impossible to run such a successful program without any guidance of these 3 great mentors, Lieutenant Colonel Casey, First Sergeant Rositas, and Elizabeth Pelicity. Again, I would like to thank the school board for recognizing the many cadets of the program on behalf of the battalion. Semper Fi.
I subcontracted that out for the record.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
There are many, many things I'm incredibly proud of Granbury ISD for, but the MJROTC program has got to be definitely the highlight. And I think the instructors, but also the students. The students are the ones that put the time in, the dedication, and you continue to honor the program that has such a legacy. Thank you so much. Moving on, Schottenkirk, Senior of the Month for September and October. Mr. Robinson.
So we'll have Brendan up here from Schottenkirk, who's going to say, he's going to kind of give the overview of what this is, and he'll talk about how they got nominated.
All right, so for September, we nominated Quinn King. Quinn King is valedictorian of our high school class. She's known for her exceptional academic achievements and her strong commitment to the community service. As an officer in the Junior Optimist Club, Quinn has demonstrated outstanding leadership skills by initiating and leading several impactful projects. These include coordinating a summer meals program for 2 consecutive years, organizing participation in the Salvation Army bell ringing campaign, volunteering at monthly food pantries, and spearheading a literacy initiative for first grade students. Quinn is described as mature, responsible, and genuinely committed to serving others. She has shown remarkable ability to balance her rigorous studies with extensive community involvement, showcasing excellent time management skills and the capacity to thrive under pressure. Her advisors note that Quinn possesses drive to identify community needs and take initiative to address them, approaching challenges with creativity and resourcefulness. With her combination of academic excellence, leadership experience, and dedication to service, Quinn is well prepared for success in college and beyond. And then for October, we nominated Brinley Bennett. Brinley Bennett has a passion for agriculture and veterinary medicine. Growing up, she dreamed of having a farm, a wish that came true when her family moved to Granbury. Brinley has experience caring for horses and has been deeply influenced by her interactions with veterinarians. She is actively involved in her community through organizations like Junior Optimist Club and FFA, participating in service business and college with the ultimate goal of attending veterinary school. She aspires to change the face of veterinary medicine and provide compassionate care for animals and their owners. Inspired by her own experiences as of the current school year, Brinley is working towards becoming a certified veterinary assistant to gain more experience in her chosen field.
$500, and so we're so proud of them. And
Doing group photo real quick.
each get 5 of them. How about y'all get in the middle?
Here we go.
Are the feature.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
All right, that is the end of our student spotlight achievements. I know some littles that need to go home, so we're going to give them a minute to do that.
Goes along with.
And then it'll be your turn. All righty. Right, front and center, Eugene, I appreciate it. You're not allowed to make faces at me now.
No, ma'am.
I don't have much, but I would like to give everybody a heads up because it's the people that are here tonight are usually the ones that are most interested in our business. You are going to see our board book look a little different in the future. Typically, all you have to post by law is the notice and the agenda with enough specificity for the public to know what you're going to discuss. We are, in the future, going to release our entire board book, so the public view will have the backup material that is allowable by law. There will be some personnel type things, any negotiations that need to be confidential, settlement agreements, or anything like that, that typically would have been excluded because of closed session, but you will be able to open everything else.
Thank you.
Is that all? All righty. Okay, so we are going to move on to public comment, and you get to hear my normal little spiel here. To better serve the students, staff, community throughout GISD, individuals who wish to address the board during public comments portion of the board meeting are required to register online. The form can be found at the GISD website under School Board and Board Meeting tab. If anyone lacks technology necessary to complete the online submission form, they can call the GISD Administration Building or complete the form in person at the Granbury ISD Administration Building. Registration will be open at the time the meeting agenda is posted, typically 5 p.m. on Friday before the meeting, or 72 hours prior to the start of a meeting. Registration will close at noon the day of the meeting. Please understand that in accordance with the Texas law, the board is not able to respond directly to comments or questions posed by the speakers during public comment. Therefore, GISD staff members will review all submissions and, if necessary, reach out to seek resolution or additional information prior to the meeting. Tonight, we have 3 individuals who signed up, and the first one tonight will be David Rogers.
Thank you, Madam President. This evening, I want to talk about the HCAD budget and also want to talk about the Johnson CAD recommendations for a board of directors. So I want to say a special thank you to our very honorable GISD trustee, Karen Lowry. I also want to say thank you to Nancy Alana for voting against the HCAD budget. Oh, excuse me.
Make it a little easier.
I also want to say that I will say special thank you to Karen Lowry and to Melanie Graff also for voting for the forensic audit of the HCAD attempt to acquire a new building.
Sir, the HCAD is not on the agenda today. You were going to speak on other things?
I'm sorry, Madam President. My understanding was this was about the budget, including HCAD. Is that not correct?
HCAD's not in the budget.
Okay. Can I please speak on the Johnson?
Absolutely. You go right ahead, sir.
I want to encourage our Board of Trustees to vote to recommend renomination of the incumbents of the Johnson County Appraisal District nominees. Benjamin Potts, or is that Brandon Potts? Jim Cockrell, Dwayne Golden, John Woods, Amy Lingo. If we could please recommend these fine directors for the Johnson Central Appraisal District. Johnson County's went to a 3-year appraisal assessment process. I hope that's something we can do here in Hood County. Instead of doing it every year, it's much more cost efficient and much more effective for the taxpayers. That's what I'd like to recommend all our GISD board trustees do. Okay, thank you, Madam President, appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. All right, next up will be Monica Brown.
Thank you and good evening. I just want to applaud you for being transparent in the future with what you're going to put online for the community, I would love to special request that you do it sooner, because it's coming into the community electronically very late in the weekend, sometimes even as late as Sunday or Saturday afternoon, and that gives the public until Monday morning to figure out what you're going to talk about and to give input. So it's not really helpful. When I first looked at it this weekend, part of it was online, and now there's more. So the whole budget amendment part, the minutes, you can't speak to those because there are no minutes. There's a note that says you're going to approve them tonight, but no one on this side of the aisle can see what it is you're going to approve, and we'd like to see it. We were at the meeting, so we'd like to see what you're approving, and if there's any corrections that might need to be recommended. The second thing was the budget amendments. There's not a lot to say because most of it wasn't up so we can see it. But I will say for future, I would love to see no new revenue tax rate, and Southlake did that. So they did it, and I'm really proud of them for doing that, and Jeremy Glenn's over there. So we know it wasn't him that stopped it. The board did it, and that's what we requested this year. We hope for the future. Okay, on 11A and 11B, I read the improvement plans. I'm still very concerned about the communities and schools, DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Anybody can look up their resource guides from all over the nation and see all kinds of things that are not good, and we don't need it. We're independent, Granbury Independent School District. We do not need it. So I'm just going to request that you think through that again. And then I concur with Mr. Rogers on these people for Johnson County because they went to an appraisal process of every 3 years. They're not appraising every year. Wouldn't that be nice? So they're doing it every 3 years, and it's highly recommended that these people be voted in, the same ones he mentioned. I just wanted to say why I'm here. I bleed red, white, and blue, like I think you do also, which means I bleed purple. I bleed green. I care about the kids in Southlake. I live in Granbury, but I live in the county, but I care about the city. Okay? I live in Granbury, but I care about Fort Worth, Southlake, and Bedford. I live in Texas, but I care about Florida, North Carolina, Colorado, Wisconsin, United States. I actually care about the world. Can't do a lot about everything in the world, but people will question, well, who are you and what do you have to say? Well, I'm a citizen. I'm breathing. I have children that are going to grow up with your children. You know, if something happened and I had to put my children in the public school, wouldn't it be great if I were welcome? Wouldn't it be great if I could be proud of the programs? And a lot of them I am. It's mostly the staff and the programs that I'm happy about. The behavior of the board the last 3 years, I haven't been happy about it. But that's why I'm here, because I bleed red, white, and blue, which includes purple. It includes green. That's Southlake. I care about those people. So that's all I need to say. And I just want to applaud you for transparency. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. And our last speaker today is Mr. Jim Brown. And Mr. Brown, I see also on here you said HCAD, but we don't have HCAD on here.
Okay. Yeah, because my comment with that was not knowing, and so, Ms. Dixon, thank you so much, because it is true. I mean, I just want to let you know I stayed up very late last night, not that it matters for anything, but I really want to make it very clear I'm going to do all I can over this next year to understand the budget so that I can speak very intelligently towards that because it's important. The numbers are all there, and I feel like it is understandable, and I think I can get myself there. So with the budget, I really would like to encourage the board to continue doing what it can to consider the no new tax rate revenue. There are school districts doing it. Our own county commissioners court did it. And I see I looked through all the budgets. Actually, I looked through what HCAD put out, looked through all that through. I compared school districts for Weatherford, Mansfield. Let me see, what else did I do? I did, Weatherford, Burleson, Mansfield, and then, of course, Granbury. And so it's 0.9035, and we're at 0.932. That's a board decision. And so with that said, I just wanted to explain that the budgets, they need to be more of a needs-based, because I'm seeing that since 2020, 2022 to 2023 school year, you're basically at 83 million. Then with the VETRA, you went up to 93 million, and it's like now we're parked at 93 million. And so now we went up to 93.9. So in 2 years, we've literally gone from 82 million to 93.9 million. And so I know a lot of that's involved with with teachers, but the teachers literally have gone from 46 million to, from 46 million in 2022 to 56 million in 2024 budget. They continue to keep going up by literally as much as 2.1 million this year coming up, and then they went up, of course, 7 million, for the VETRA. I got that. But with HCAD, I wish I could speak into that because, there's a meeting coming up. They are going to be talking about possible monies that could come back to the taxing entities. And as a board, and as a citizen, as a board, you have 3 controlling the HCAD. I just would like you to put some comments into them that I'd like the forensic audit, and I'd like to see where that money's going. So I'll stop. But I guess it's really it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I've got 27 seconds. But Ms. Dixon, thank you, and thank you, board. I would guess you're involved in that.
Yeah.
The more information that we can get on, it'd be awesome on Friday night. Right now, it just has one little page. I have no idea what amendments you're looking at for the budget. I had no idea. I couldn't study. So I'd like to be more knowledgeable when I come to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Speaking on what Dr. Dixon presented in her supervisor's or superintendent report, we honestly, as a board, thought that the links that you guys would go to pulled up the data. We didn't realize it only pulled up the cover page, because we don't look at that. We don't look at it from the standpoint that you did. Once we saw that today, after reading the comments that you all had put online, and we actually went into it and realized you were only getting the cover page. Apologize that you didn't get it before. You will now get it in the future. That was actually just a misunderstanding on our part with what we thought you were getting. So, again, good comment. Glad that we were able to fix that for y'all. Okay, moving on. Going to consent agenda items. Are there... Oh, that's right, we got the closed session. Consider action on items discussed in closed session. Dr. Dixon?
Yes, you had a review sheet of what we were asking for. Primarily, it was adjustments to the compensation manual. Some saving money, some spending money. But we need to make those adjustments in order to adjust payroll.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Madam President.
Thank you, Ms. Gore. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Wimberly. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Now, moving on to consent agenda items. Are there any items that the board would like to pull?
Madam President, I'd like to pull a consent agenda item 10D, budget amendments.
10D. Okay. Are there any others that need to be pulled? Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Gore.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to recognize the donations made by our community. We had donations made to Emma Robertson Early Learning Center from the Pecan Plantation Women's Club in the amount of $851. We had donations from the Zoo Crew for the Campus Activity Fund to Bronner Elementary in the amount of $1,645. We had donations made to GMS Campus Activity Fund from Billy Martin and Martin's Office Supply for a total of $750. The AMS Student Activity Fund received a donation from the Optimist Club in the amount of $1,000. And there were various student programs at the high school that received donations from the Sons of American Legion, Optimist Club, Brion Landscaping, EMJAA Construction, Eric and Carol Luddle, Maker Material Supply, Cutting Edge Haunted House, Schulman's Movie Bowl and Grill for a total amount to the high school of $18,009.82 for a grand total of contributions and donations from our community in the amount of $22,255.82.
All right, so do I have a motion for accepting the consent agenda items?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Wimberly. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed, it was unanimous for. Thank you very much, Board. Moving on to the discussion action items. The first is from Tammy Clark, 2024-2025 District Improvement Plan.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, so now, last month I was here with campus improvement plans, and this month I'm here with the district improvement plan. And so I'm going to give you an overview, the 30,000-foot view, and then you can ask me any questions that you have. So just like the campus improvement plans and the campus needs assessment, it's an exercise in continuous improvement. We get our student data, but this time it's at the district level. The campuses did theirs by their campus. We're looking at district data, our enrollment data, demographic data, student achievement data, all of the district-wide data that we have so that we know as a central admin what moves are being made and what we need to be putting our focus to. So on human capital data, we have principal check-ins with me, surveys that we send out, exit interviews through HR department, and then our retention data and what campuses are losing more or having more that are going to be enjoying retirement and things like that. We look at our human capital projections. So basically, all of the data that rolls into the 4 big areas that we came up with in our strategic plan, we're looking at those that data so that we can push our goals forward. So again, we are going to see those same 4 goals that we had in our campus improvement plans because that's what came out of our strategic planning a year and a little bit ago, right? So the first goal is academic achievement. Then we are having the people who are pouring into what moves we need to make at the district level from academic achievement. So curriculum and instruction department, SPED department, and then CCMR would be pretty much through our high school quite a bit, but also Todd Gibson when he's looking at things from our CTE department. So in curriculum instruction, we're going to be looking at some new adoptions that will be coming up. Open educational resources probably in math, since math is a focus area for us, as it is for most of the people across the state. We're looking at our high quality instruction, instructional-based strategies, research-based strategies. That's what that RBIS. I know that Billy likes to ask me about all of my acronyms. So RBIS is research-based instructional strategies. So I didn't put it on there, so I brought it to you. We're looking at our intervention implementation support and monitoring and how we're monitoring from the district level and pushing that down to each of the different campuses. And then our focus, our focal point, still on benchmark phonics at the lower levels. Our writing samples, short constructed responses used to be our short answers, and extended constructed responses used to be essays, right? So those are still a focus. And then math, because the numbers in math have gone down statewide and also in our district. And then support through instructional coaching from district admin to campus admin, all the way to the teachers. If I go into what SPED department, special education department is doing, we are trying from the district office, from the district support level to help our campuses maximize exposure for all students to Tier 1 grade level instruction, meaning do less resource time and more in-classroom support for as many students as possible.
and get them to that least restrictive environment. Goldbook is a technology, is a software that we use that helps us monitor IEPs, so implementation of that new software. And then inclusive programming, we've had that for quite some time. It just continues to grow. CAST, the robotics, and our Wednesday afternoons at the YMCA with our students and our partner PE. For CCMR, we've made some shifts to try to maximize our CCMR points by, at the high school level, giving TSIA to all sophomores. That's the Texas Success Initiative assessment, so it's kind of like an SAT or an ACT, but it's the Texas one. And targeted seniors. So we have some seniors that have passed one portion but not the other. So for them to get their CCMR point, we're trying to incentivize them to take that and be college ready. We're also strengthening our community partnerships. If you read the one-pager, you can see that that's more for our industry-based internships. And so continuing those partnerships and then improving our processes for tracking, monitoring, and supporting all of the CCMR, every kid to see that they're meeting CCMR standards. For goal 2, this is our HR goal, our highly effective, well-supported, and valued staff. We started this campus year with 25 Tarleton teacher residents, which is amazing. We are the district that is piloting the middle schools having teacher residents. There aren't any anywhere else. Everyone has been doing elementary school residents, and we got the first secondary residents. So we're excited to see what that gives, and hopefully we'll keep them and put them into our pipeline. We have our curriculum and instruction department is working really, really hard for TIA, Texas Teacher Incentive Allotment, trying to make sure that we can create and submit our application. They've been working on TIA Tuesdays, and a whole bunch of teachers and faculty and staff have been working together to put that application together, which is how it's supposed to be designed. So a lot of work going into that, and hopefully we'll have a great application done by April. In-district professional development, so we look at where our data is lagging, and then our curriculum and instruction department comes up with our professional development. We have monthly calendars for after-school professional development hours, and we also have a lot of offerings in the summer, but right now the October calendar is out. We're trying to increase our principal and assistant principal PLCs so that they can get together more often and share ideas, share all of their good ideas, and helping everybody get better. We have extended day opportunities with staff for young children. The YMCA has partnered with our extended day personnel and to offer some work day coverage for our staff, which is sometimes an issue, right? When we have work days, but we don't have Little Bucks or Emma open on those days. And then another training thing that is new, and I think that Mr. Clark has talked about this, but we hosted TCOL training for the first time, a recertification here in Granbury. It's the first time that TCOL hasn't had it at one of their state sites, but they had it here. It saved us a lot of money, and all of our TCOL marshals are getting trained, well, recertified in Granbury, Texas, and we're going to continue to do that. For goal 3, we have our community connections and our staff and family connections. The big one here is CKH. I think that you've heard and seen, and if you're on Facebook, you're definitely seeing a lot of Capturing Kids' Hearts posts on what we're doing to try to connect with our kids and our families, and it's been really fun to watch. We're still trying to refine and improve our character education to address bullying. Bullying is an issue and probably will be while we have, cell phones for children. And so definitely trying to improve how to address those things. we are trying to evaluate and recognize all of our parent and family engagement. We're continuing to work on that and improve our community connections district-wide. And then the last one is just our handbooks for district interventions and MTSS are going to be updated. And goal 4 was a facilities goal and a well-maintained and secure facilities goal. So our safety goes in there, but it starts with the redistribution of half of our bilingual program that really balanced our elementaries and maximized. We are full on all of our elementaries now. It helped us with Bronner, that was at over 900 students last year. When we pulled off half of the bilingual to go to Bacchus, that filled up every single elementary school to the max. So that's where we're at. That's the best use of our facilities that we can do. And so now we've engaged with the demographer for the updated study. We should have that out around January, it's my understanding. As far as safety is concerned, the cybersecurity annex and the EOP was the focus area for Texas. So we got that done. And we continue to do all of the cyber trainings that Brent sends us. And then for safety, we have some safety grants that are in the works, and a lot of those updates that are on there are what we're putting into play or have already put into play with our safety grants that we've acquired. So that is the 24-25 touch on, or big picture view of our district improvement plan. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
No questions, just a comment. Thank you for putting all this together for us. I saw with the teacher incentive allotment, y'all are going to have a lot of internal processes in place to make that a hub for people who are going to be utilizing the teacher incentive allotment. And so I appreciate all the hard work y'all are doing and putting into this and making sure that we're hitting those goals on our strategic plan. Thank you.
You're so welcome. This is truly a work by most of the directors in the room, have all put their goals and how they can push forward the goals from the community from the strategic plan and put them in place.
And we will end up getting updates quarterly on how they are doing.
Yes.
So this is just the start of the program for this year.
Absolutely.
And so, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tammy.
Any other comments? Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
I move that the board approve the district improvement plan as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Wimberly. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Alana. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that is unanimous. Moving on, consider approval of a resolution nominating candidates for the Appraisal District Board of Johnson County and Parker County. So what we have received, go over to that page, is we can consider nominating them. They're not, the election will be held in December. So we can, let's see, I will then prepare the ballots. Yes, they need to submit names by October 15th. For Johnson County, there are a total of 5,000 votes. Granbury ISD has 14. So our votes aren't going to make much, but if someone would like to make a recommendation of someone for us to nominate with that 14 votes, I am happy to take that nomination.
Yes, ma'am, I have the 5 names that we would like to nominate for Johnson County.
How many do they allow us to have?
Thought it was 5. If it's only 3, we'll put 3 in.
Let me see. 5. Board consists of 9 members, 5 nominated and voted by the taxing entities, 3 members elected by popular vote, and the elected tax. So it looks to me 5 nominated. I think it's 3 that we get, so.
It says up to 5. Please submit the names of any nominees up to 5 persons. We get 14 votes. You can allocate the 14 votes however you choose between the 5 nominees.
Okay. So how do you want to do this?
I missed part of that. We're going to do 5?
Yeah, you can do
Well,
5.
You can do 5,
Okay.
but we have 14 votes, so you're going to have to tell me how to split up the 14 votes among the 5.
Okay. That shouldn't be too difficult. All right, let's see. 14, do you need the names of the people?
Yes.
Coming in, helpful. Dwayne Goulding, Duaine Goulding,
Goulding. Okay.
Amy, Lingo,
Lingo.
John R. Wood, you're writing faster than I'm reading. Brannon, Brannon Potts, Potts. And James M. Cockrell.
Ockrel. Okay, so that's 5 names. How are you going to divide up 14 points?
So for the first 3 that we named, let's just do 3. For those, I'm sorry, for the first 4.
So 3, 3, 3.
3. And then the last one we'll do 2.
Does anyone else have anyone else that they would have wanted to put on there? All right, that's fine. We'll make sure that that gets sent in. Do you have, well, let's get Johnson County too. Oh, that was Johnson. Okay. Parker County, we have, let's see, 5 directors are appointed. President.
Just 2 separate resolutions.
5 seats.
Oh, okay.
Says
Okay.
5 seats for a term, beginning January 1.
For Parker?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go back to Johnson County for just a moment. There is a resolution that was on page 112. So I need a motion, a resolution by Granbury ISD affirming nominations of the candidates for this. So I need a motion to approve this resolution for those 5 members that we just put on.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to thank you. Lost my train of thought. Make a motion for this resolution by GISD affirming the nominations for candidates for the Board of Directors for the Central Appraisal District of Johnson County, Texas.
Very good. I have a motion. Can I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Discussion?
Oh, discussion.
I don't know these people. Can you give me some information about them, please?
We have resumes. Would you like us to read some parts of their resumes? That
Yeah,
would
I'd
be
like to know.
pertinent?
I'd like to know about who they are. I don't know the names, so before I vote, I'd like some information on them.
Mr. Goulding is a native of Johnson County, a graduate of Cleburne High School, and currently resides in Johnson County with his wife. He earned an MBA as well as a BS in mathematics and computer science and pursued a career in the IT industry. His specialties include strategic planning, operational efficiency, process improvement, contract negotiations, client relations, employee relations, sales, and marketing. That's just a little bit of it. Amy Lingo. Her specialties include policy and regulatory compliance, including compliance appraisal review, governance, finance, consumer, commercial real estate finance, budgeting and strategic planning, risk management, business process improvement, employee and client relations, integrity, reputation, and accountability. Mr. Wood has over his education and his professional development is a Doctor of Philosophy and Business Administration, Bachelor of Science, Electronic Engineering Technology, AMA Sales Management Training, Photography, Management Training, Licensed Training School Director and Continuing Education Instructor, and he completed the Champions Real Estate Training in Austin. And Mr. Potts grew up in Cleburne, third-generation resident of Johnson County. His wife's a fourth-generation local. He began his banking career at First Financial Bank in Cleburne, working as a financial analyst and later as a vice president of commercial lending, and then moving to Community Bank in a similar role. He's handled business, real estate loans, new residential developments, and analyzed appraisals, which deepen his understanding of property values in the area. He served as vice chairman of Planning and Zoning Commission in Cleburne. He was recruited to be the CEO of his family business, where he worked alongside of his father and 50 employees. Played a key role in facilitating the company's sale in 2010. He's founded a property management company in 2016 and currently own and manage several rental properties in Johnson, Hood, and throughout the DFW district. And the last one would be James Cockrell. He was born and raised in Abilene. Let's see, he has been from McMurray College in '74 with a BS in speech and English and teaching certificate in secondary education in '89. He obtained his MED in education administration with mid-management and superintendent certifications from the University of North Texas in Denton. In addition to his 30-year career in public education as a teacher, building administrator, and central officer, he's worked for private sector for 7 years as a journalist and broadcaster. His wife of 51 years are both retired from public education in 2011 and July 2019.
Thank you for that information. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
No, none of them. So, Johnson County. Yes. Any other questions or discussion? All right, all those in favor, please raise your hand. And that is unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay, now moving on to Parker County. There are 5 open spots. We may nominate 1 candidate for each position. In Parker County, we have 20 votes, and they do not total theirs up. Let's see, 2,000. So we have 20 votes out of it, looks like, just looking at these numbers, about 4,000. So, but bottom line is we have 20 votes. Do we have any names for Parker County Appraisal District?
I noticed at the bottom, it has the names of the ones who have a term that is expiring. Cody Lane, Jerry Durant, John Hinton, Richard Barrett, and Sterling Nairn.
Yes.
The only name I'm familiar with is former Granbury resident, Jerry Durant. I certainly would nominate him. I don't know, does anyone know any of the others?
No, I don't, but do we have any resumes on these 5 that are on the bottom?
Not that I have.
Any additional information? No?
Mm-mm. Do I have a motion then?
I'm fine with allocating our votes for the members with expiring terms, since they've already been on the board. And they're done? Are they are these people up for reelection? We can allocate our votes for them, or they're completely just done off the board?
We have no idea.
Okay.
Madam President, I move that we divide the 20 votes evenly between the candidates listed on this sheet. Cody Lane, Jerry Durant, John Hinton, Richard Barrett, and Sterling Naren.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Before we vote, I just wanted to say I'm going to be a no on this only because I don't have enough information. I don't know exactly who I'm voting for.
I understand. Any other discussion? Okay, they also have it as a resolution nominating the candidates for the Parker County Appraisal District. Be it remembered that at an open meeting of Granbury ISD, a public subdivision of state of Texas held on, it will be for today, said meeting, the duly called in accordance with the laws, governing body, and that this is a quorum, that we're saying that these are going to be our nominations. So we'll go ahead, and that is what we're voting on, is that particular resolution. We have a motion by Ms. Alana and seconded by Ms. Gore. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed? So we have 5-4, 2 against, and the 2 against are Ms. Lowry and Ms. Graft. The motion passes. It will be split evenly among the 5 candidates listed.
I have a question, if I might ask.
Of
Can I
course.
do that? Okay. In just a suggestion, would it be possible in the future to have them submit resumes so that at least we can look at those and make more of an educated vote? Just a thought.
I think that's a very good idea. Okay, moving on. Get back over here to my other sheet here. Okay, consider resolution stating review of investment policy. Mr. Whitefield.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, in front of you, you do have a copy of CDA Legal and CDA Local. You also have a listing of qualified brokers and a resolution to adopt at the end with mentioning those things. According to Public Funds Investment Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 2256, Subchapter A, and Granbury ISD's legal policy, the investment policy and the investment strategy shall be reviewed not less than annually. You do have those attached. And in addition, CDA Legal states the board shall adopt a written instrument stating that it has reviewed the investment policy and investment strategies, and that the written instrument so adopted shall record any changes made to either the investment policy or the investment strategies, and that would be the resolution that it's at the end. Also, CDA Legal also says the board shall annually review, revise, and adopt a list of qualified brokers, and you have that, and I believe that is Exhibit B. CDA Local also states that the superintendent or another person designated by the board shall serve as the investment officer, and that is also in the resolution. And lastly, the government code requires that the board approve the independent sources for investment training, and those investment training sources are also in that resolution. It is recommended that the board adopt the attached resolution stating the board has reviewed the investment policy and strategies, the adopted list of qualified brokers has designated the investment officers, and has approved the independent sources of investment training as required by the investment policy and Texas Government Code.
I am going to read the resolution stating review of investment policy and investment strategies, designation of investment officers, approving independent sources of investment training, and approving a list of qualified brokers authorized to engage in investment transactions with the district. Whereas Granbury ISD has been legally created, operated pursuant to the general laws of the state of Texas applicable to independent school districts, and whereas the Board of Trustees of Granbury ISD has adopted investment policy CDA Local for the district in the form attached hereto as Exhibit A pursuant to Chapter 2256 of the Texas Government Code as amended from time to time, And whereas Section 2256.005E, Texas Government Code as amended, requires the governing body of an investment entity review its investment policy and investment strategies not less than annually. And whereas Section 2256.025, Texas Government Code requires the governing bodies of the entity shall at least annually review, revise, and adopt a list of qualified brokers that are authorized to engage in the investment transaction of the entity. Whereas the investment policy, CDA local, states the superintendent or other persons as designated by the board resolution shall serve as the investment officers of the district. And whereas the Texas Association of School Boards, all regional education service centers, the Texas Association of School Business Officials, the Texas Local Government Investment Pools, the Texas Society of CPAs, the UNT Center of Public Management, the Texas Municipal League, Texas State University, Virtual Learning Concepts, and various TASBO affiliates are independent sources that provide investment training sessions relating to investment responsibilities. And as such, the Board of Trustees of Granbury ISD wishes to approve these independent sources of instruction as required by the Texas Government Code Section 2256.008A. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Granbury Independent School District that the investment policy in the form attached hereto, Exhibit A, and the investment strategies contained in such policies have been reviewed and hereby adopted with no change. And that the superintendent, chief financial officer, and the business manager serve as the district's investment officers to be responsible for the investment of its funds consistent with investment policy. And that the Texas Association of School Boards, our regional education service centers, the Texas Association of School Business Officials, Texas Local Government Investment Pools, the Texas Society of CPAs, the UNT Center of Public Management, the Texas Municipal League, the Texas State University, Virtual Learning Concepts, and various TASBO affiliates are approved as independent sources of instruction relating to the investment responsibilities for the investment officer of the district, as required by Section 2256.008A, Texas Government Code as amended. And that the list of qualified brokers attached to Exhibit B have been reviewed by the board and are authorized to engage in investment transactions with the district. Do I have a motion to accept this resolution?
Madam President, I move that we accept the resolution.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Ms. Gore. Thank you, Ms. Alana. Are there any discussion?
I just have a couple questions. How many of the brokers or the dealers do we use? All of them?
Currently, we're only using the pools, but those investment brokers that are on there were submitted by TD America and by TCG, which is at the bottom of the page is Eric Light. We kept them on there just in case we went back to Ameritrade or those funds. They're long-term investments. We don't use those because they're not very liquid. However, we left them on there just in case we do decide to go back that way.
Okay, and do we use the services of a contractor of the district to aid in the investment officers?
We do not contract with anybody, except for BOK, and that's usually with our bonds and stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am.
Any other questions, comments? All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And that is unanimous. Thank you, board. We are moving on now to reports. Annual Continuing Education Report for the Board of Trustees. I actually have something in particular I have to read. As board president, I am required to announce the name of each member who has completed the required continued education, who has exceeded the required continued education, or who is deficient in meeting the required continuing education. The following trustees met requirements in the required annual training, and all trustees exceeded requirements in the additional continued education. The trustees, Nancy Alana, met all requirements and exceeded additional continued education. Courtney Gore met all requirements and exceeded additional continued education. Melanie Graft met all requirements and exceeded additional continued education. Karen Lowry met all requirements and exceeded additional continued education. Mike Moore met all requirements and exceeded additional continued education. Barbara Townsend met all requirements and exceeded additional continued education. Billy Wimberly met all requirements and exceeded additional continued education. So we all did our job. Moving on, Mr. Whitefield, financial statements for period ending September 30.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, in front of you do have the financial statements for the month of September, being the first month of our year. The statement includes only those transactions that occur between September 1st of this month, that month, and September 30th of 2024. Revenue collected to date equals 4.8% of the budgeted amount compared to 4.87% in 23 and 24. The expenditures to date represent 12.99% of the budget compared to 12.85% in 23 and 24. And now we'll answer any questions on the financials if you have any.
So this kind of goes back to what we've talked about in non-agenda items before, where here our expenditures are exceeding what we're taking in just because of the time of year. And this is why we end up needing the fund balance that we have, correct?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. We won't start collecting tax dollars until the month of December.
So we're going to continue spending, and this is why we need what we have
Yes, ma'am.
in our fund balance.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and finish this up with the cash flow and investment report.
Thank you, Madam President. Board, in front of you do have the investment statement for the month of September. You can see that in the month of September, we raised $154,540 in interest revenue. Most of that was generated through our pool investments under Lone Star. Last year's investment income at this time was $134,872. So just shy of $20,000 difference this year as compared to last year.
Okay, thank you, sir. Well, before we close, tonight is Ms. Melanie Graff's last meeting as a Granbury ISD trustee. She's been with us for 3 years, and I want to thank you for your service, and I'm sure we will see you around. And with that, it is... It is now 7:11, and we are adjourned. Thank you.